What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, we're going to be diving into the Little Cup with a very strong team of Alolan Sandshrew, Wooper, and Seal, all of which can do very well against Bronzer, as it is allowed now in the Little Cup. In the previous Little Cup, which we had, I think, I want to say back in 2021? Potentially, I could be wrong about that, but it was a long time ago. Bronzer was banned because of how oppressive and strong it is, and this time it's been allowed. So we're going to bring 3 Pokemon that can do well against it. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Sandshrew on the lead versus Growlithe. So this is, well, this is kind of like a worst case scenario. So we're going to safe swap that Seal right here, and they decide to come into the mirror match, which is very advantageous for us because, I mean, we are doing resisted damage, but when you're ahead in terms of energy right here in the mirror match, the attack drops are gonna be very devastating as their icy winds are not gonna be doing as much damage. So it's kind of tough to come into a mirror fight right here for them. Now, because of those extra embers, this is actually looking kind of favorable for them if I'm not gonna lie, but it may force me to shield as they decide to let that go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to obviously go for switch advantage. I will have to give up a shield on this charge move. I could survive, but it would be so close. I'm going to go ahead and just shield up, farm down, and then look to put some pressure here on the Growlithe because I could technically have Aqua Tail. But I just don't double move the Seal right there. So we do get a shield as they were going to respect the potential Aqua Tail, and now we have taken switch advantage so Wooper can come into this matchup, and this is going to be very good for us. Yes, we're going to take quite a bit of damage from Body Slam, but ultimately we can survive 2 right here and get to our own Body Slam. Now, I could have thrown it sooner. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to let this go and hope that Alolan Sandshrew, I keep wanting to say Sandslash, but Sandshrew, is going to sweep. So we do land the Body Slam. Perfect. They swap into Jupiter, so I'm going to go ahead and bring out that Sandshrew as we do resist the Bug Bites right here. And Night Slash does do some nice neutral damage. Now Jupiter, just like Araquanid in the Great League, is very tanky. It has a lot of HP and defensives that we kind of have to get through right here. So we're going to let this go as Bubble Beam doesn't do too much damage. And we will get to another Night Slash. Now, we did get their final shield, which is going to be very good for Wooper to potentially sweep here as Body Slam does a lot of neutral damage. Hopefully get to one more Night Slash. I have to shield. I need this extra chip damage because my Wooper is not going to be able to survive the fast moves in order to get to the Body Slam. So this chip damage right here, even though we have been bubble beamed with our attack, we should be able to get to a Body Slam right here. As you guys can see, I wouldn't have gotten to 2 Body Slams if I saved the shield for Wooper here. But Wooper coming in clutch, going to close this game out for us. And Wooper is by far, I think, one of my favorite Pokemon for this meta because of just its ability to just win games. It's beautiful. All right, we got Sandshrew now versus Seal here on the lead. So what we're going to look to do is try to land a Night Slash for some nice neutral damage and then try to catch the charge move on Seal. I'm guessing it's just going to be an Icy Wind. But ultimately, if I can't catch it, which I can't right here, they just decide to throw right away, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and let this go, and now I'm going to swap out after I build up to another Night Slash back into my own Seal. Now we bring in a Cottony. And this is what's cool about running Seal as a safe swap in a meta where there's grass-type Pokemon is firstly, you draw it out, and secondly, you can fire right back with Icy Wind, not only lowering the attack, but also doing super effective damage and forcing shields here, which gives Wooper even more play to win the endgame, right? So we're going to go ahead and let this go, as it is going to be a grass knot. Boom! Down we go. But Alolan Sandshrew should be able to come in and fully farm down, as we do resist Charm right here. It still does quite a bit of damage, but we're fully farming down, and now this is what makes Alolan Sandshrew so deadly, is when it has a ton of energy, which is what the setup of the Seal safe swap farm down with Sandshrew team is, and then hopefully there's only one grass Pokemon and you kind of sweep. Now later on in this video, we do face a double grass Pokemon team, so watch out for that, but they have a Wynut in the back, and this is kind of tough. I haven't simmed. I should have looked at it after. I think Body Slam, technically, because of the lower energy cost that it has, is going to be more ideal in terms of taking down a Wynut here. Because Mud Bomb does slightly more damage, but you could get off, especially with how many charge moves I need to land here. I think Body Slam is going to be the better bet, but I could be wrong. I should have simmed it before recording this video, so if that is incorrect, let me know down in the comments. as Wynut is definitely going to be a big problem to try to handle in the meta, as this is what, 4 body slams now, 5 body slams. So what I have to do here is I have to catch the charge move. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Mirror Coat, and now we got to look to catch the charge move here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the body slam, and I feel like they're 2 counters away, I think. So 1, oh no, okay. I didn't catch the charge move. They were actually 2 counters away. I tried to catch, I thought maybe 1, maybe 2. I kind of lost count there, but ultimately I go down. So good game right there. Very close one. But Wooper, Wynut is definitely going to be a problem. Now, we face some more. Here comes another Wynut. So we take counter damage here, so we got to swap out now into Seal, and we do draw out another Seal. So this is like one of those situations where I get a bit confused. Obviously, they don't have an answer to Seal, but I mean, coming into the mirror match right away seems to be like a disadvantage, right? So we're going to go ahead and let this go. It is going to be the Icy Wind, and then we're going to look to, we don't necessarily need switch advantage, we just need a lot of energy on our Alolan Sandshrew, because having those Night Slashes for Wynut is going to be very advantageous for us. So we get a shield. So they're already committed to maintaining switch advantage, with I am perfectly fine with. Like, please, take switch advantage. Let me have the energy and shields. So I'm going to go ahead and actually throw an Icy Wind here. I could undercharge this. I should have undercharged this. It's not going to be enough to KO, but they will actually go down. I still take switch and shield. I'm like, all right. So Wynut comes back in. We're going to come in with Wooper now, which is still a decent situation, especially since we have 2-to-1 shields. I definitely thought I wasn't going to win that mid-game matchup, even though they shielded one, but I think they were trying to commit to the farm down to have energy on the back end. So this time around, I'm trying the Mud Bomb, which is why, again, I wish I would have simmed it earlier. Mud Bomb, it looks like ever so slightly more damage, but I don't think that is going to be more advantageous, because you can get off another body slam if you're doing like 5 body slams. Right? You'll be able to do 5 body slams instead of 4 mud bombs, and I don't know if that's going to be enough, but we're still looking good right here. It's like kind of tough. Do I need to give up shield? I'm going to go ahead and do it on this Mirror Coat. I'm reading that, you know what, maybe Wooper is going to be ideal. We're going to go ahead and go for a body slam, and then I'm going to see if I can actually catch the Mirror Coat now on my Sandshrew here, but they actually decide to let it go, and we do catch it. So that is beautiful. We're able to swap in very quickly, as it wasn't a CMP tie. They clicked on it right after the body slam was done, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Stunky. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Gyro Ball here to force that final shield, because if they let it go thinking it's Night Slash, this is going to KO. And now Wooper, come in clutch. We get that extra body slam off. Had we been going for Mud Bombs, maybe we don't get to it. But this time we do, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one. We have Sandshrew on the lead versus Chinchou. Okay, so somewhat of a decent matchup. Obviously, we want to keep this thing away from Seal, but we have a harder win in the back with Wooper and a somewhat neutral lead here with Sandshrew. Now, I should have thrown the Night Slash right away, but they got to the Bubble Beam pretty quickly, and I'm going to go ahead and now swap out into Wooper, and they decide to stay in. So they're going for Bubble Beam. All right, cool. They're going to go ahead and just debuff me, which is perfectly fine. But they don't swap out. So this is a tell that maybe they're weak in the back into a Wooper, right? Wooper has a lot of good coverages, and they decide to stay in and let me fully farm them down. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. I have loaded energy on Sandshrew, so I'm not too worried about that. Bubble Beam doesn't KO, and they have an Onix in the back. I'm like, well, they are definitely weak to Wooper right here. That's why Wooper's smiling so much, because it might just put in a sweep on this team. Now, unfortunately, the Bubble Beam debuffs is doing a lot in terms of our ability to not two-shot this Onix right here. Had we had no Bubble Beam debuffs, those Mud Bombs would have two-shot, but we do get to a body slam here in time. I actually had enough energy there for Mud Shot, or Mud Bomb, I should say. But it's going to get a shield either way, and now I'm going to come in with Seal right here and look to farm down. I will give up a shield on the first charge move, but we'll have to see. I'm going to be honest, I think it's Sand Tomb, Rock Tomb, and I feel like they have Rock Slide as well. I mean, I don't face an Onix every day in Go Battle League. I don't think you guys do either, so it was just a Sand Tomb, so we'll let this next one go through. And then let's see what they decide to bring in. It is going to be a Grimer, so we're going to go ahead and go for the Icy Wind. And now this is a beautiful setup for us. We can clear the Sand Tomb debuffs on ourselves. We land the Icy Wind, and this Sandshrew is loaded on energy. Remember, they have a Chinchou with no health in the back as well. So this is going to be a good game. And as you guys see, they had Chinchou, Grimer, and Onix, which means it makes a lot of sense why they didn't swap out of Chinchou against Wooper, because it was going to sweep their whole team. But either way, shiny little Sandshrew here is going to take it, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. A nice little sweep. All right. Moving into the next battle, we have Sandshrew on the lead versus Goldeen. I'm like, oh my gosh, a Goldeen. What moveset does it even have? And it has Mud Shot. I'm like, okay, well, I'll swap into Seal right here. And I believe it has Horn Attack. This is what's fun about the Little Cup, is you rarely see these Pokemon, and it's exciting to see them for the first time. You actually don't know what moveset they have off the top of your head. Which can be fun, right? If you've been playing Go Battle League as long as I have, having something surprise you is always fun, and a new little spice to the battles instead of knowing every single move from all the meta Pokemon that are constantly being used. Seeing a Goldeen there was like pretty cool. I'm like, all right, so it's got Horn Attack. We resist that on our Sandshrew. We could come back in, farm down here the Jupiter, because we're not going to win this mid-game matchup. We just kind of want a soft lose, and they also decide to throw right here, which is perfect. Throw the charge move. And then we should be able to come in with Sandshrew and really load up on energy. Yes, we're going to take some damage here, but they actually decide to swap out into Goldeen, which I'm like, okay, this is perfectly fine with me. I can go for Night Slash. I know they have Horn Attack. And I'm also concerned about the second charge move they could potentially have. I don't want it to be something like Aqua Tail, and I get caught by surprise. So I'm going to go ahead and shield, and it is just another Horn Attack. So that's fine. I can go for another Night Slash here, and this does so much neutral damage, basically across this whole meta, that we landed right there. That's beautiful. And now I'm going to let this go. I'm like, this is just going to be another Horn Attack. We resist it, which we do. Beautiful. Not too much damage. We can farm down with Powder Snow. There's still the Jupiter. And we don't know what that final Pokemon is, but we have the pressure now that we need to apply to try to force that final shield or get rid of Jupiter. And the final Pokemon is going to be, it's going to be a Dino. So this is now going to be an interesting race, because basically what we need to do is get off 2 Body Slams, and then the Powder Snows from Sandshrew might just be enough. But I also could potentially get to 3 Body Slams right here if they try to commit to the farm down. It's going to be a dangerous play for them, but it's the risky play that they have to do. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam now. And I'm almost to the next one. So they can't necessarily throw their own Body Slam because they'll just get Powder Snow down. So they're trying to commit to the farm down, but ultimately Wooper here doing its nice little sweep as we get to the Body Slam in time and take it out. And that is going to be a good game. All right, moving to the next one, we have Sandshrew on the lead versus Scorpi, shiny Scorpi at that, which is super cool. And this thing has Aqua Tail, which doesn't seem like it's going to do a lot, but it definitely hurts, and they can get to it very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that first one, and then I want to catch the next one here on my Seal. So I believe that was 4 Poison Stings to the Aqua Tail, so we're going to try to swap on 4 since they threw it right away. And we do catch it, which is perfect. This is a lot of energy. Well, actually, it's not too much energy, but it's enough energy dumped into our Seal where now they're going to be forced to swap out, and they swap out into a Dino. So just like Grass-type Pokemon, Dino resists the Lick here, but the Icy Wind, applying that super effective damage, is going to get us those even shields and apply that debuff, which we desperately need for the attack drop, because Sandshrew can once again come in and load up on energy. So we're going to go ahead and let the Body Slam go through. And now we're going to come in with that Sandshrew, load up with Powder Snows, and have multiple Night Slashes on the back end here for the Scorpi, which is already relatively low because of the Lick damage and the Night Slashes from the lead matchup, where we can safely shield the potential crunch. It was just a Body Slam, but that's okay. As we do see Scorpi come in, we can now go for back-to-back Night Slashes. We don't know what's in the back, but we have a Wooper. Yes, we have no shields remaining, but we just got their final shield as well, as they decided to shield that one. So we're going to throw the Night Slash again right away. And the final Pokemon is going to be a Ducklet. So this is actually a dangerous situation for me. A very dangerous situation. Because they could potentially go for the back-to-back Brave Bird. So what I have to do here... This is so dangerous. We have to throw the Night Slash, and then I'm hoping that I win the race now, because this is going to be a Brave Bird. It's the only way they take me out. I'm hoping I win the race to the charge move here. So we got Mud Shot versus Wing Attack and CMP tie. We win it right there. So that's going to be a good game. It's extremely close. I could have gotten away with swapping out into my Sandshrew, or into the Wooper, and then doing the body slam and forcing the Brave Bird and then farming down with Powder Snow, but ultimately, good game. All right, we got Wooper here on the lead. We're going to go ahead and swap into Seal, and in comes a Bulbasaur. So this is one of those Pokemon where you can no shield, where the Seal might just be able to survive, and it does. Perfect. So we can now get to the Icy Wind, and this is why Seal is so deadly, everyone. You have to shield the Icy Wind, because if you don't, you get switch advantage right back, which is beautiful, as Wooper now comes back in to farm us down. So we're going to go ahead and come in with our own Wooper. We're reading that there is something weak in the back to Sandshrew. We don't know what it is yet, but with a Wooper on the lead covering Steels and Fire-type Pokemon, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another Grass, especially since we saw the Bulbasaur, and sure enough, it's a Cottony in the back. So this is looking very, very good for us as we can fully Powder Snow down. They're going to go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb, but I'm going to go ahead and shield, just stopping that extra damage, because fully farming down now is what Alolan Sandshrew is basically, that's when it's at its deadliest, when it has this much energy. So we can go ahead and go for multiple Night Slashes right here. I might actually be able to get 3 off, and we will be forcing shields as well because the Wooper is so low. So we're going to go ahead and throw this next one. Now, because of how low I am in terms of health, I don't think I can get to this third. I was one fast move away, but we should be able to get to the Body Slam right here to close this game out. And looking at how much damage their Body Slam does, it's like I need to go for Body Slam, but I over-tapped right there. I don't know why I was going for Mud Bomb, but in hindsight, just go for Body Slam. Just take the nice easy win. The Body Slam right here is enough damage. I was way too close right there, but either way, good game. Seal on the safe swap was incredibly strong for me. All right, final battle, I believe, Sandshrew versus Wynut. This team is so thick, the opponent's team that I'm going to face. We're going to see what we can do. We have to swap out because it's a really bad lead, and they bring in Bronzer. So this is that infamous Pokemon we've been looking out for in this meta. Now, I only saw it once today when I was running this team. I was running other teams as well, and I saw it a lot more then, but with running this team, I only saw it once. So this is the one game I can show you guys, as we're going to let the Psyshock go through. What I want to do is try to do as much damage with Lick and Icy Wind as possible, and then come in and just load up on energy with Sandshrew so I have multiple Night Slashes ready to go. So that's the game plan right here. They're going to go ahead and throw another charge move, so I will let this go. And it is actually going to be the Psyshock right here, which isn't enough to take us out, but I can do a little bit extra damage with Lick, and now this is like a perfect situation where Sandshrew can come in and just completely load up on energy. And hopefully I have 2 Night Slashes, or close to 2, after we farm down. So let's see if we can get 2. Yep, we got 2. Perfect. All right, Wynut's going to be coming back in, so we can go ahead and throw both of these, which might just get ourselves shield advantage. It may not, because these don't KO. When we get a boost right there, I'm like, all right, Sandshrew, time to turn up. This definitely is going to be getting a shield now from the opponent, which we do. Now we're going to swap out into our Wooper, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Seal. So this is going to be a very tough game still, because we have a Wooper, or not a Wooper, a Wynut, 2W Pokemon, a Wynut still in the back that has a good amount of health. So we have to shield this Icy Wind, but it actually is just an Aqua Tail, which it honestly works out better because now my attack isn't debuffed, so I can do more damage with Body Slam. So let's see if Wooper can carry this game for us. We should be able to get to another one in time, and we do. I could have potentially fully farmed down right there looking back, because they wouldn't have gotten to 2 Icy Winds. Now we have the Wynut come in, even shields right here. We have the Body Slam damage, and what we have to do is try to catch the charge move in order to close this game out. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, because I can't necessarily force shields here with Body Slam this early. So my hope is that if I can catch the charge move, I should be able to get 2 more Body Slams off after this one, which I think is just going to be enough damage. So let's see if we can do it. We're going to go ahead and swap, and we catch, which is beautiful. But unfortunately for us, the Mirror Coat just doesn't do enough damage, and they can actually load up with 2 extra counters there, which now is going to make this game Pretty freaking close. Pretty close. So buckle up. Oh, get to it. 1, 2. No. Oh my goodness. One mud shot away from taking it right there. But ultimately, this team did really well for me. All positive sets today with it. It has the coverage that it needs. It can win against lead losses and lead safe swap ins like we saw with the Bulbasaur and whatnot, because the Seal can really get yourself shield advantage or switch. You load up on energy with Sandshrew, and then you apply more shield pressure with those Night Slashes and Gyro Ball, and then you have Wooper Sweep. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.